I'm Lorna Fandrich, and I own the Lytton Chinese History Museum, or what remains of the Lytton Chinese History Museum. We began that in 2016. The building of it ran at 2017 until this year, of course, with the fire.
And you haven't even been able to visit the site yet, have you?
We're still not allowed to be in town. I have signed up to have a company come and sift through the ashes. The procedure for that seems like I'll just be able to stand on the sidelines, watch other people sift through it. But my hopes are that we'll find some ceramics or pieces of things that we can attach some history to and put in a new museum when we rebuild.
I'm told that your collection was second only to the Royal BC Museum, and it was one of the most important ones in North America. What was lost in that fire?
Yeah, it was fairly incredible that this little museum could contain such a good collection. There were two men that made it their lifetime hobby, I suppose, to collect most of the artifacts, and in their older years wished to have it where people would see it, and so they sold their collections to me. So cataloged, it looks like 1,600 items. There's more because some of it's grouped together, but to lose that when it was their collections, but also to lose the things that were privately donated to me, I find that pretty difficult. And strangely enough, each day I run across something that reminds me of another thing that's lost, or I see a person in town, I think, oh my gosh, I had this from them or that from them, and it's kind of sad that way.
Yes.
But hopefully we can move ahead with it anyway.
And rebuild. There was one portion of the collection, a small exhibit that was elsewhere. It'll come back to the museum. And you're standing at Kumsheen, which is where your family has operated the river rafting company for many, many years. But you have found some artifacts here as well, haven't you? Tell us about that.
There was a railway camp here, so that would be in 1883. Where before, when we were developing the land, we would just find little pieces of pottery scattered about, and so we had collected some of those, and they were in the museum. Now that some of our Kumsheen site has burned, in picking up the pieces from that, we found more pieces, very small pieces of pottery, and so now they've become very valuable to me, having something to begin with a new collection. Luckily I'm insured, so I will be able to rebuild the building, hoping to rebuild it much the same as it was. The Joss House was the foundation of what we built there, or the way it looked was mimicking what was the Joss House, so I'd like to continue with that. The collections themselves, if we could move ahead, it would be more digital, I'm supposing, but if we can move ahead and get some pieces that still tell that story. Of course, I still have photographs of all the archival material that we had, and all of the photos and things are still maintained, so we could reestablish those. But it's just having artifacts that catch people's eye. As you know, in most museums, it's the people that come in and say, oh, this was in my grandma's house, and that's what they like about it, and so I still wish to have those physical pieces there. We had started a research area in the basement portion of it, and so that will have value. There are a few in America, a few other places that have a similar collection, a smaller collection, I suppose. And as you were saying before about it is a worldly collection. A lot of people have commented on how many pieces were there and the uniqueness of them. And so, it's a great loss, but we'll move ahead with that, I'm sure.
Best of luck to you and your family and Lytton. Thanks, Lorna.
Thank you.